Miss Laura Kate. What is going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just over here crushing bangs over here.
That's how I feel. It's finals week here at
Uh-huh.
Tarleton State, so we're trying to count it down for the spring semester. So, good evening, everyone. I'm here, and today's episode is called The Three W's of Pitchford Cattle. And I have two of the great men behind Pitchford Cattle here with me today to join us and tell us a little bit about them and kind of advertise for them, get some marketing promotion out there. I'll let y'all introduce yourself.
Dad, you first.
All right, I'm Darrell Pitchford. I'm the owner, operator, manager, behind the scenes guy at Pitchford Cattle. And we've been in business for about 40 years now. So this is me.
Awesome. As you can see by my title right here, I'm Oakley and Stetson's dad, married to my wife, Brianna. Been showing Santa Gertrudis cattle my whole entire life, but I say busy in just about everything. I help with the social media for Pitchford Cattle. I'm also a window cleaner, pressure washer, and my main job and my purpose in life, I'm a firefighter paramedic for the Louisville Fire Department. And so I'm young and green, but I think we got a really cool environment over here at Pitchford Cattle, so I'm excited for the future.
Definitely sound busy. So, being that I know y'all both showed, y'all want to kind of tell me how you got started showing and kind of what got your foot into the door and why you chose Santa Gertrudis Cattle?
Well, I just started back in 1983 before NOM. And I grew up, my family had some dairy cattle originally. And I didn't really like the dairy cattle part of it. So we had some friends that lived down the road at Creasy Farms in Tennessee. And they've been in business and really well established. So we went down there a few miles away from home and got my first heifer, and there it kind of took off. We went to the National Junior Heifer Show, San Marcos, Texas, I believe in 1983, 84, and kind of took off, and we loved it, and turned into a family event every summer. And from there, we got me all the way through high school, started off in college at Western Kentucky University. And from that point, we won the livestock judging contest and FFA, the state livestock judging contest, backed up a little bit. And then we went on, and I was on the college livestock judging team at Western Kentucky University under Mr. Terry Burtz. And I got to learn a lot about cattle, a lot of technology, a lot of terminology, and decided that's what I loved. After we got out of college, I moved to Belleville, Texas, and that's where I kind of met my wife, Shanna. And then we worked there at Pecan Hill Farms, managed that ranch for about 3 years. Then we moved on to Forney, Texas. That's where Shanna was from. And we established Pitchford Cattle. And went through all the years of Pitchford Cattle service, had our feed store. Then we developed Civilian to Pitchford Cattle. We had to sell the feed store and work hard on that. And then we started raising our first knothead, Casey Pitchford, back in 1998. And then we had Gracie born in 2002. And then now we're really working on the grandkids now. So we have Casey that has 2 kids, Oakley and Stetson. And then we have Gracie that has little Miss Everly. So never a dull moment here at Pitchford Cattle. And we're working for the future and really strong through the junior program and the open program as well. And working constantly on EPDs, ultrasound data, working on DNA, working on just trying to make the breed better. So, Casey?
Yeah, with both my parents' life being heavily involved in livestock and agriculture and Santa Gertrudis cattle. My first national show, my mother was 4 or 5 months pregnant, and I think we were in Tampa, Florida in 1998. And then I was born in November, and I don't think I missed the junior nationals. But I've been involved with the breed ever since. Been involved in every county show, pigs, lambs, goats, every animal that can be exhibited. Me and my dad have gone out and exhibited them. So and I've definitely learned a lot. It's made me the person I am. It's given me the work ethic, the drive uh, to be confident in myself and what I do, and be able to talk to people. A ton of social skills learned. And now I get to pass that on to my kids. So first off, I got to introduce my wife to it. She had never shown any cattle. We got to halterberg some calves when we started dating, and that brought us really close. And Sheila fell in love with the Santa Gertrudis cattle, and hopefully my daughter Oakley and my son Stetson will get to do that same thing growing up. I'm so blessed that my parents were able to live a life through Santa Gertrudis cattle and be able to give that to my kids and give that to us. So
it definitely has kind of like shaped y'all into who y'all are today, and y'all have a lot of background knowledge with it. What would be like one of y'all's biggest whys of why y'all do this? If it's the genetic part of it, or kind of why do y'all do it?
also this one, if you want me to.
That'll work.
Okay. No, the reason why I do it is because, first off, I've always been a competitive person by nature. So being able to start with something that maybe here, but you see the potential of it being here, whether that be increasing EPDs, increasing phenotype, or improving your data collection process when you're weaning calves off and collecting data from those calves. You can always, like any business, you can strive to constantly be improving it. So that's what I love about it. And I really think when you own your own business and when you love something as much as we do, like the Gerts, that there is no ceiling. So you just got to always keep pushing that ceiling higher and higher and higher, and the possibilities are endless. So that's what I love about it. Dad?
I grew up loving it, and then my wife got involved with it, and she raised Santa Gertrudis cattle, which her dad called God's cattle. So we've learned the terminology better as this is God's cattle we're raising, and they'll make a great living for you. And we've worked hard on phenotype forever and ever, and then back in 2011 we really started to boost because other breeds of cattle could turn in a lot of terminology and a lot of things about their cattle that I couldn't. Well, then I wanted that, so I loved the challenge, and so then I created EPDs, went out and found the best cattle across the nation, flushed the best cows, did a lot of embryo work, and that's what's got us to the forefront today is by pushing this technology and IVF and these cattle now 11, 12 months old, trying to get to the next level fast, create fresher genetics. And I love the challenge of the people that people put a lot of pressure on you, but you try to, it's like a competition, like a game, you want to make you have the best cattle that you can have.
And so just kind of like playing apart off of what you said, what would be like your vision as far as like Pitchford cattle and like taking it in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do y'all see yourself?
I see us continuing to increase CPDs, continuing to have functional cattle. I think that's been the base of our program. Is we may not have the the biggest top, biggest blank, but we're going to have functional cattle that work now, work 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. I would love to get into the meat market side because I think there's some upper and lower ends of our profit that we can work on. So just because one calf doesn't come out a $10,000 show calf doesn't mean that we can't be profitable on that calf on the meat side, because we are including those CPDs. We're working on those on those feedlot traits. So to be able to bring an animal and get it, grass finished, whatever we need to do, grain fed, whatever process we decide to do, I'll be able to take it through the meat side of things.
What would be one of the biggest like EPDs that you think are most important to you when raising cattle?
I think it starts with weaning weight and yearling weight. It's a good one to start out with. I mean, there's so many different things you can go through EPDs, but weaning weight and yearling weight, that's going to tell you that the mother milked good. It's going to tell you that the environment that animal lived in was good, because if something weans off heavy, then some cow somewhere was doing something right, or some rancher raising that animal to be a healthy animal because of its diet did something right. So I think that's a good place to start, and that's what we did when we started back in the day. We literally sat there and looked at weaning weight, yearling weight, add them together, which one makes the highest number, and then we went out from there. And so now we're way down the line. We're looking at, whether it's milk, whether it's you know uh, testicle size. We're looking at all different things now. Obviously, ribeye, marbling, that can make a big ton of difference. All depends on what your program is and what your focus is. But that's where we started with, and then obviously we've evolved from there. What would you say, Dad?
Yeah, in 5 years, we made a dramatic change in the board at SGPI this last weekend, and I think the future looks bright. We have a lot of things in front of us that we need to take care of, and one of the things I want to kind of bring back a lot of marketing promotion, and that's why I wanted VP of marketing promotion. I think there's a lot of things we're leaving out. I think when you start a bull sale again, I think when you start a huge female sale, we can build off of that in each person's area. And then we go towards EPDs. We've always worked on our birth weights first.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went on to our yearling weights, weaning weights. We pushed this marbling thing. I think we pushed it in the ground. So we kind of need to back up a little bit. We got our milk going over here to left field. Our milk's kind of not really correct, I don't think, right now, because our cows are milking good. We got beautiful udders. We got big weaning weights. So we got to figure out this new geneticist that's coming in right now to evaluate the milk EPD and kind of straighten that out a little bit. And our size of a ribeye, just being the top, 15 to 20% in every category would be an ideal goal. We won't go too extreme. We're not chasing one trait wonders. Every time you trace a single trait selection, you're going to end up in trouble.
Yeah, just increase the EPDs as a whole. Eventually, 10 years from now, we can look back and be like, whoa, we were down here on the mountain, but now we're up here. But,
yeah, it looks good. We just got a big challenge in front of us to work with the commercial market, and I think if we do the right thing, we'll increase that bull sales.
Do y'all ever see EPDs going into the show ring side of it?
No, I don't want it to. Personally, I don't, just because I love the fact that the shows are about phenotype. I think, especially the junior shows. I mean, I could see it happening in the open show, just because sometimes open show is more of adults, aiming towards the goal of building a perfect animal. Junior shows, I think, is kind of, hey, you picked an animal that's a beautiful animal, you critique its phenotype and go from there. But what do you think, Dad?
Yeah, they try to put these EPDs in. I've seen them do it in the Red Angus and make a total wreck out of it. They forgot about the phenotype. The heifer's got to be structurally correct. The bull's got to be able to travel, go out and breed cattle as well. I think EPDs are a tool. It's just like everything else that we have in the toolbox. I got about every tool that exists inside my toolbox right now. So we're trying to use a little bit of every tool to make the animals better all the time. It's a fast-moving market area right now, no matter what breed you're in. And, you need to look at the overall pieces. And I think one person interprets EPDs one way. We get to judge next week. He may totally interpret EPDs a totally different way. So if you have everybody on the same scale, it would work pretty good. But everybody's not on the same scale. But you got to have phenotype and your genotype when you're creating your animals. And I think if you'll stay within that pattern of really what phenotype is and genotype, then that's a tool that you use in the toolbox pretty heavy.
And so I guess as we kind of wrap up here for this episode of Getting to Know Pitchford Cattle, we just kind of talk about like some upcoming things y'all have. I know there's a show coming up that y'all are putting on the futurity, and if y'all have any big shows coming up or sales y'all want to talk about as we wrap up here to let everyone know about.
Yeah. Just confirm the dates because my brain's not working right. It's the 6th and 7th is the premier warm-up show?
Correct.
Okay, 6th and 7th. So that means the 7th we'll be having our premier warm-up show. Following that, Pitchford Cattle will be having our Pitchford Futurity. And so we'll have a whole bunch of juniors and open. Whoever wants to come out, whoever has an animal that is eligible to show in that show, all our information is posted on Facebook, Instagram. If you have any questions, you think a heifer might be available to show in the show, you think anything is possible, call me and I will confirm yes or no. We had people in years past that the show is over, the scholarship's given out, and they're like, "Oh, you mean I could have signed up for it?" Yeah, we want. This is a very broad category because we want all the cattle that are influenced by our genetics, dang near all of them, to have a chance to come and be a part of the fraternity because we want to show what our genetics have done for the whole breed, not just for the person that we sold and got that $3,000 heifer for, or this, that, and the other. So look at those rules, look them over. If you're even like questioning something, call me. My number is 903-477-6191. So call me and ask me. Get all those entries into me as soon as possible, and we'll get that going. We have class winner banners. We have scholarships. We have sale credit. We're trying to make it sweet for you guys because we care about y'all. We care about these cattle, and hopefully we can work together and show what we love. You know what I'm saying? Dad, you got anything upcoming events? I know we got nationals.
We got that big premier warm up show coming up, like you said, on the 7th in Gainesville, Texas. So if you can, come out and watch it. But the second most thing we have is June 17th through the 24th. That'll be our little baby Gracie Kate. This will be her last junior national. So we're working very hard, and she's working very hard to making this a very successful last junior national for Gracie. Seems like yesterday she was born, and so we got to put all of our efforts into this and keep our fingers crossed. We'll do the best we can to make her cattle look great and give her an opportunity. We're going in there with about 25 stinking head going in there to this junior national, so we're going in strong. And then Casey's brother-in-law, CJ, he's going to have cattle that'll be there as well, and some of our nephews and nieces will have some there. And we're looking forward to it, June 17th, 24th, Gonzales, Texas. We'll just leave it at that for now, and that's all our current up-to-date stuff we need to worry about.
Yeah, well, I say we probably have a podcast coming up soon also on just the Junior National Show and probably how Premier went and how the fraternity went and kind of touch base there going into Junior Nationals. I'd say that's a good game plan for us. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Anything else, Miss Laura?
Nope. So as we wrap this up, I just want to say thank y'all, everyone, for tuning in and listening. And if you're ever in the market for a good bull and you get your cows bred or a show heifer, contact Pitchford Cattle. I'd like to say thank you to Darrell and Casey for coming on and joining me this evening.
If you don't talk about it, be about it.
You don't talk about it, be about it, guys. Okay, check us out at pitchfordcattle.com, Pitchford_cattle on Instagram, Pitchford Marketing Service on Facebook. Follow us, subscribe. Legends Live Podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. We love you. We're out of here.